So I was browsing Ask FM when...
Also, I should mention this now. Rather than using Common Rare Wing Knight, I'm using Spider-Man as my avatar. Why? Because I can. Hey everyone, Shades here, and welcome to my first ever commentary. So, my first commentary is going to be on... Comment Jack. Yeah, I know it's probably a bad thing for my first one to be on such an easy target, but this video, I just couldn't leave it alone.
Funny, that's exactly what I thought when I watched your video.
Today I'm going to commentate on Jack's latest video on Ben the Looney's rant on Wabbit. And before anyone calls me one, no, I am not a Ben the Looney fanboy, unlike someone else we know. Even though I am subscribed to Ben, he's not even close to being one of my favorite reviewers.
Your opinion on Ben is irrelevant to the video. Even if you were a huge Ben fanboy, if you had legitimate and well-articulated arguments to comment Jack's points, then your stance on his quality is inconsequential. And despite purportedly not being a fanboy, guess what this video still doesn't have?
Okay, we can say that's somewhat entertaining, especially the new ones. I mean, especially when compared to this pile of garbage.
Also, I should mention this now. Rather than using Common Rare Wing Knight, I'm using Spider-Man as my avatar. Why? Because I can.
The gods have smiled upon me this day.
That is my gift, and that is my curse. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Here's some backstory.
Between 1929 and 1969, there was this very popular animated series called The Looney Tunes. In mid-2015, Cartoon Network made a reboot of this animated series, calling it Wabbit, a Looney Tunes production. In November, Ben the Looney came back from the dead after a 1-year, 5-month hiatus. Then he made a video where he basically bashes the show for extremely idiotic reasons.
Wait. You're doing a commentary on one of the first of Ben's new videos? You do realize that video came out in late November, right? A little late to the party there, Jack.
Comment Jack stated that the video came out in November. Are you even listening? Oh, and for the record, Ben's rant on Wabbit was released on November 20th of 2015. Comment Jack's commentary on him came out on January 13th of 2016. Literally not even 2 months had passed by then, so what the hell are you bitching about?
The reason I'm saying that is because since this video in particular, Ben has made some changes and has gotten a lot better with his new style. Granted, that's not really saying much, but still.
Changes or no, it was the arguments and complaints presented in this video that Comment Jack took issue with. Honey, I know you're new, but you do realize that when a person makes note of a negative trait in a video, that trait doesn't have to be concomitant with all other videos in their repertoire, right?
That is my gift, and that is my curse. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Welcome back to Ben Rants, and I'm not allowed in the state of Missouri.
Wow. Fucking wow. I will not talk about how awful is his avatar, since that is not only obvious but irrelevant as well.
That's his old new avatar. If you had been paying attention, you'd notice he's changed it from this to this. Isn't he just cute?
Hey, sure, let's just ignore the fact that Comment Jack's video was released on January 13th and Ben's avatar change didn't come about until January 22nd. It's not like someone with the proper resources could just look up when the video came out and bitch slap that argument into a feckin' wall. Also, maybe draw their avatar bitch slapping yours into a fucking wall. I mean, who could do that?
So let's talk about the other interesting thing I should bring up. His mic quality. I know that my earlier videos had terrible mic quality. This is gonna hurt a lot when we end the review. But that was in my early commentaries back when my channel was only a month old. Ben has been doing this shit since 2009, around 7 years ago. Not to mention that he has backup from Frederator. There's no excuse for this.
I always thought that was part of Ben's gimmick. You know, he doesn't have a good mic because he's loony. Forget it.
What, because that point made no sense and is purely speculation on your part?
Also, it should be known that 5 days before this commentary existed, Ben released a review of Hammerman. And what is that I hear?
And I'm in desperate need of therapy.
A new good quality microphone!
Please don't tell me that you equate good quality to ear-splitting ringing noise that exists through the duration of the video.
Is my gift, and that is my curse. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Oh, just wonderful. I take a year-long break, I come back to entertain my fans.
To piss them off? How would he piss off his fans by returning?
by saying controversial or factually incorrect things about shows that they like. You do realize who we're talking about here, right?
Joe? Yeah, because the last one worked so well.
Okay, this is to future reviewers, commentators, voice actors, etc. Aside of an extremely monotone voice, the last thing you want when it comes to sarcasm is drawing out the inflections. Especially when your mic quality is this fucking abysmal.
I won't argue with that, but you make it sound like he dragged it on for 5 seconds, when in fact it was a little over 2 seconds.
I won't argue with that. Here's my argument towards your complaint. Brilliant.
The best way to inflect sarcasm is to be quick, like this. Because yeah, he wants everything to be censored. Everything!
Yeah, using yourself was the best example.
And what exactly was wrong with his portrayal of a sarcastic tone? You just gonna not say anything? Oh, okay. I'm sure that's how commentaries work.
Not pony.mob?
Wait, what?
I'm just curious. I do not remember any of this shit on the Looney Tunes show.
When did he say he was comparing it to the Looney Tunes show? All he was saying was he thinks the last show was so bad he's assuming the worst for this one.
That's a direct comparison. He's comparing his previous expectations of a Looney Tunes production to his current expectations of Wabbit. Assumptions can be based off of comparisons. Furthermore, Ben makes comparisons to the previous Looney Tunes show throughout the entire video.
It was a joke, honey. It was a joke.
Even if it's a joke, if Comment Jack doesn't think that it works because the comparison is too exaggerated, then you need to explain why he's wrong, not simply give it a pass because it's a joke.
Alright, Warner Brothers. Come in, truck me again. Bring it on. Wow. I can't believe it.
Neither do I. This will be a long fucking review.
Okay. What was the point of that? You pointlessly cut Ben off to pointlessly make a pointless statement that means nothing overall. Did I mention that was pointless? And seriously, why are you complaining? The video's only 10 minutes long.
Setting up expectations of the video for your audience? Blasphemy!
They made a Looney Tunes reboot that actually feels like the original Looney Tunes. I'm not kidding.
Wow,
This show was broken
Ben
up
the
into
Looney is
short
actually
5-minute
showing
cartoons
footage of what
that
he's
had
talking
the
about.
plot of books
Yeah, he uses footage now. Old news.
This was still a new revelation when Comment Jack made the video, and is even more jarring to those who don't regularly watch Ben's reviews and primarily remember him for not using footage. Look at a fucking calendar for once in your life.
That is my gift, and that is my curse. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
While so far I've said good things about this show, there is still one teensy-weensy, itty-bitty thing they got wrong. Everything else!
Yeah, tell me all the reasons why you hate this show. Is it the gross out aspect? Is it because of them sticking to the formula? Is it because Bugs is not really that pleasant of a character in this incarnation? Each and single one of them is a very reasonable point.
And the points he brings up here aren't?
Hey, it's not nice to cut someone off before they finish their setup. That's a bad Shades comments. Bad! Go to your box! Oh, and looky here. Not only do you not let Jack finish the setup, you directly skip over the point he was leading to, which was his confused intrigue as to what exactly Ben was referring to with his complaints.
Any of those...
Don't you just hate when the audio cuts out? Hey, knock that off! Sorry.
You fucking noticed the audio cutout, but somehow managed to miss that this was done purposely, so that Comment Jack could be stunned with intrigue over Ben's claims. Alright, that's it. Come with me, little Shady. You're going to the timeout corner.
It's my gift, and that is my curse. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Funny thing about this skip card, too, the amount of time between the end of Comment Jack's setup and where the skip card leads to is 20 seconds. Despite Shades making note that Jack says nothing, there wasn't any instance for him to interject. Ben hadn't finished his point. In fact, Ben's still talking about the same point when the skip card ends.
The only other Looney Tunes character I've seen in this show is Yosemite Sam, whose new design is ugly as hell.
I find this hypocrisy!
Ah!
I find this hypocrisy! I find it!
Oh, hi, random Ryan clip. Seriously, why did you use that? The worst part is you didn't even expound on it, like you just thought using that clip makes your entire argument.
Okay, you're surprised that the clip legitimately made me laugh, but if you can't figure out that Jack's calling Ben a hypocrite because his avatar is just as ugly as he's claiming Yosemite Sam is, then
you could have at least said, "Seriously, look in the mirror, you hypocrite," or something like that.
You fucking know what the purpose of the clip was. Why are you asking things if you know the answer? If you figured out what his joke was, then he didn't need to expand on it. Doing so would simply drag out the video. Spider-Man, I swear to God, I'm gonna bitch slap you clear across this commentary.
That is my gift, and that is my curse.
Oh my God! You did it again! The amount of time the skip card goes over is 24 seconds. Ben hadn't finished making enough of a point for Jack to interject. Hell, you cut back into the video in the middle of Ben's point!
But this is bullspit! I'm a diehard Looney Tunes fan, and Bugs Bunny isn't even my favorite character!
So basically, this show needs to present at least 10 or 15 original Looney Tunes characters on the first season, or else it's not a good show.
I see how it is. Only Ryan's allowed to mockingly mimic the person they're commentating on to summarize their arguments as a means of displaying how flawed they are. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just be sitting in the corner over here, alone.
But in all seriousness, either wait until season 3 is out, learn to deal with it, or just go truck yourself with a chainsaw.
First off, why does he need to wait until season 3? That's a long time to wait for something he's probably already convinced himself he doesn't like to improve. And plus, why do we need to wait 3 seasons for it to improve when it could have been great, or at the very least good, with the first season? Like these shows, for example.
The videos that I want to portray as having a good first season in my own subjective opinion are relevant to this video that, up until my mentioning them, had nothing to do with them because I say so. Get on my level, you scrub!
Second off, wow. Mature. He doesn't like a show you do, and then it's just...
Truck yourself with a chainsaw.
And you seem to be missing the point Ben was trying to make. He's saying that Bugs isn't the only character that Warner Bros. Has at their disposal, but because they think people only like Bugs, so that's all they're going to focus on here.
Actually, that's not what Ben said. Like, at all. Give it a moment.
Ben even expounds on that point in the next part you show.
What makes the Looney Tunes cartoon so great is that there are a dozen starring characters that several people can get behind. Each character is so strong that they can stand on their own. It's a wide variety, and it's most likely when viewing a marathon of Looney Tunes, you're not going to see the same character over and over again. You're going to get a nice batch of stars. And that doesn't even count all the one-shot cartoons that don't even feature any of the starring characters.
Want to know what's super dumb about implementing established skip cards into your commentary? It makes when you deliberately cut out parts of the original video more jarring because it feels like you're hiding something. Take, for example, this clip of Ben blatantly acknowledging that Bugs is the most popular Looney Tunes character that Warner Bros. Has at their disposal.
I know Bugs Bunny is the most popular Looney Tunes character, and it's good to see him back to his screwball roots, but he's a character that you can easily make boring if you continue to constantly shove him in people's faces.
This clip, which, I should note, was not only in Comment Jack's original video, but also gives a reason for Bugs to be the center focus of the show despite Ben complaining about it. Because Bugs is their most popular Looney Tunes asset. If they're going to create a show with one character acting as the sun for which all the little story planets can revolve around, it would obviously be Bugs. Ben gave an answer to his complaint about the show as he was talking about it, and while Jack didn't make note of it, you somehow still managed to make yourself look like an idiot by cutting out part of that video that Comment Jack didn't even comment on. How do you do that?
And yeah, no signs of my favorite character, Daffy.
Yeah, wait, what?
Well, of course. They had to not include Daffy to make room for the characters
PMS
that are more
detected.
What? What did he say?
popular than him. Squeaks the Squirrel and Bigfoot. What? Warner Brothers, I hope you're wearing protection, because I like to make sure that my partner is safe before I get trucked!
Hey, this isn't some game with limited time and budget. This is a high-budget TV animated show. There's plenty of time for whatever character they want to bring up.
But see, here's the thing. If they do have this high budget that you just boasted about, why don't they use those other characters now?
because they have plans to slowly incorporate them into the show as the episodes go on. Also, because it would make the current stories too crowded, and, as Ben stated earlier, they're trying to implement new Looney Tunes characters into the roster, and are thus giving those characters as much focus as possible early on. Do you even know how storytelling works?
Which, by the way, Ben brings that up later.
He also brought that up earlier in the video, and I'm not entirely sure how you missed that.
That is my gift, and that is my curse. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
But all I can say is...
Wait, did you not just hear him correct himself and say the same line again?
But all I can say is...
Why didn't you point that out? Not even with text? No. Then why the hell did you show all of that whole thing?
Poor quality in a Ben the Looney rant? Woe and behold, the earth must be standing still! And gee, it's not like, once again, Ben isn't finished talking. Flub or no, it doesn't make sense for Jack to skip over sections of his argument if Ben's argument is meant to be heard.
Oh, Avery, forgive me for what I'm about to say.
I don't forgive you.
Is that the only reason you showed all of that? To make another lame Ryan cutaway gag?
It was a joke, Spidey. It was a joke.
Truck that! I didn't even watch Looney Tunes since I was born to think that Bugs Bunny is the only Looney Tunes character. You're not going to fool me, Warner Brothers.
Jeez, man, you're acting like this show cannot spend 3 seconds without focusing on Bugs Bunny.
Care to expound on how it doesn't spend any less than 3 seconds on Bugs?
What? No! Motherfucking no! He wasn't claiming that the show did or did not spend less than 3 seconds focusing on Bugs, so why would he have to explain how it does either? He was stating that Ben was ranting about it as though the show wasn't allowed to spend more than 3 seconds focusing on Bugs. Motherfucking Spider piece of shit!
I haven't watched this show yet, and I really don't care to.
Motherfucking Spider
Last
piece
show
of
left me
shit.
with 2 made bad dreams. Ugh. So for those of us who haven't seen it yet, you should probably explain this stuff, especially if you're defending the show.
Also, I don't give a shit that he's not your favorite character, because you are not the only person on the Looney Tunes demographic. Think of that for a second.
Well, yeah, but what about the other people who have a Looney Tunes character that they prefer over Bugs? Judging from that DeviantArt image you showed earlier, you seem to be a huge Bugs Bunny fan, and that's fine. But in your blind fanboy rage, you forget that there are other people out there that are also either getting tired of Bugs or prefer a different Looney Tunes character. I myself prefer either Daffy, Foghorn Leghorn, or Sylvester and Tweety over Bugs, but that's just me.
Great. And the show is obviously catering to the audience that has made Bugs the most popular Looney Tunes character, according to Ben. Like, what do I even have to say at this point? You can go on and on about what other characters you prefer, but in the end, the show's obviously marketed to people who like Bugs.
That is my gift, and that is my curse. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Well, at least they're not going to take Taz, rename him Theodore Tasmanian, and make him an accountant. Nope. At least they're not going to do that.
Why is that a bad thing? I'm just asking. Why the hell is that a bad thing?
Are you serious? Because that's not Taz's nature. It doesn't fit with the character. It'd be like rebooting The Legend of Korra and have Korra be a swimsuit model. It doesn't fit!
The fact that I need to explain the comedy behind character comparison and contrast is just... it makes me want to cry. Here's a character that normally does one thing. Ha ha ha, it's funny, until we get bored of it. Plop that character in a situation that directly contrasts what we know them as, or gives them a drastically different personality. Ha ha ha, comedy restored because of jarring, unexpected contrast. That's it, I'm done. God dang good night.
This show is not even close to being a spiritual successor to the original shorts. You were so close, Warner Brothers.
But you just said that they're not even close.
Please don't cut the crazy man off.
You are not one to talk.
You were so close, Warner Brothers, but you still can't seem to get it right.
Granted, he could have expounded on that, maybe by saying it was close to being a good show or something like that, but still, cutting him off just to make yourself look good, well, it makes you look bad.
Pointing it out doesn't make it better, you bibrachial troglodyte!
Why don't you stop trying to catch lightning in a bottle twice? The original Looney Tunes are animation perfection.
No, they're flawed. Like every single cartoon in the fucking world.
Why are you getting so worked over this? Could you at the very least explain why the original shorts are flawed like every other blah 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 blah? Maybe by saying how they used to use racist characters in jokes, death as a joke, or jokes that were really inappropriate for kids? No? Okay then.
He doesn't have to analyze the show and point out exactly what's wrong with it to make note that it's not perfect in the sense that nothing is perfect. Furthermore, the gripes he might have that, in his eyes, prevent the show from reaching perfection might not resonate with other people. And I'm so glad you unnecessarily brought up the inappropriate humor as a point of note on your behalf, because guess who thinks that sort of humor is great in kids' shows? Fucking me!
No one can recreate that. I don't care who they are.
What? What? Why are we...
Dumbass.
Well, I see someone's been taking notes from Slothboy's book, How to Be a Complete Jackass on the Internet. Ooh, he signed it too.
Is every new commentator we get gonna be a complete fuckwad?
Even ignoring that they can. Ignoring the fact that they can and did.
Ignoring the fact that Back in Action was a box office bomb and
people don't make...
I'm glad you cut yourself off there, because it let me assume that you realized that point wasn't relevant to what Jack was arguing.
People don't make reboots to compare themselves to the classics. They do it because they want to bring classic characters back to life.
No, they do it for money. That's all these big corporations care about. Your money. That's why people like Ben rant on things like this. They don't want to hand people their money if they aren't getting what they want to see. That's how the entertainment business works.
See, I probably could have given that one to you if it weren't for one teensy-weensy, itsy-bitsy, teeny-tiny problem. The show has to be pitched. When a company or corporation owns... When a company or corporation owns the rights to a character, they get the final say in what ends up making it to the big screen. And yes, when it comes to the corporation, they choose whatever idea they think will garner them the most money. But you're forgetting that the idea has to be pitched in the first place, and these ideas are typically pitched by people who either have storylines they want to expose the characters to, or it's a project that they want to work on, be it animating, producing, directing, etc. Despite the company making money from the product in the end, this show was likely some sort of labor of love for maybe even just one person for it to exist in the first place. That's how stories start, and that's how stories continue.
You can like the show, Jack. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, and neither is Ben. Ben is only expressing his opinion, and all you can do is say, how dare people agree with him and his valid arguments? How dare he make an entertaining video? How dare he dislike a show I like? What a dumbass!
How dare you express your opinion on something that someone else made, despite me literally just saying that you have every right to do so? What a dumbass!
Final thoughts. Ben, Eddie the Scammer, learn from his mistakes. Mr. Enter, learn from his mistakes. Sammy the fucking classic Sonic fan, learn from his mistakes. But you, all you learned after 1.5 years was how to edit video footage.
Could you please explain how Ben hasn't learned anything more than editing footage?
Stop interrupting!
You basically say that this show is crap, just because you want it to be something that is not made out to be. Wabbit may not be as good as the original shorts, but it's still a very good show.
Which you never made any arguments for. In fact, throughout this video, you pretty much said more negative things about the show than positive. In fact, I never even once heard you say it's a good show. Ever.
He's arguing Ben's opinion of the show, not defending his own opinion of the show. They are two completely different things. Now get your foot out of your mouth so I can shove it straight up your...
But the fact that Ben the Looney still won't realize why people have been criticizing him for the last 7 years is unacceptable. Say what you want about Mr. Enter. At least when he fails, we can see that he's trying.
What? And Ben isn't?
We can see some reason and some logic behind his arguments. And at least he has a decent avatar and a decent mic quality.
Again, you're just being a blind fanboy for Mr. Enter,
Oh, thank God! Finally! A good argument!
saying how he's better, even though his videos nowadays wish they were half as entertaining as they used to be. Also, Enter having a better avatar? Now? Probably, especially compared to this one. Back then? Ha!
Son of a... I bet you don't even realize that your own subjective opinions not only fail to prove Common Jack's own opinions wrong, but they're also completely useless here. And guess what? Say it with me, people. Oh my God, I don't care!
In other words, you fail.
Oh yeah, thanks for that last minute ear rape. Do you really need to punish your audience's ears as well as our brains?
Yeah, this point is exaggerated to the point of ridiculousness. I'm going back to my corner.
And that, thankfully, is the end.
Oh, thank the crawling chaos!
Jack, I honestly think you need to take a break from commentaries. I'm not asking you to leave because there are only a few people I'd ever say that to, and you're not one of them. But you need to stop letting your love for things make you so blind that you can't listen to what other people say. I'm guilty of this myself, I admit. You don't call Ben out for being nostalgia blind or a fanboy of the original shorts.
Do you even realize how many Ben the Looney commentaries and rants were done before this one? That's it. No one's allowed into the commentary community unless they're caught up on 2012 CC bullcrap. Your king has spoken. Now grovel. Oh, that hurts.
Oh my God, your shrill laughter, I legitimately want to use in some kind of horror. It's so good.
I style it after Higurashi no Nakukoru ni crazy laughter.
I don't speak weeaboo.
When the cicada... How have you not watched Higurashi no Nakukoru ni?
Not a weeaboo.
Great anime, though, despite weeaboo-ness.